Parshas Emor begins with many of the halachas related to a Kohen, who a Kohen can marry, the questions related to whom a Kohen is allowed to become Tameh, and other details related to the Kohanim specifically. But later on in the parasha, the Torah takes a slightly different turn and enters into the Kriyas HaTorah of the Yomim Tovim of the Moadim. Torah tells us, "Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe le'emor." Hashem speaks to Moshe, saying, the Mefarshim point out, as opposed to the beginning of the pasuk, when it says that it's uniquely should be given over to the Bnei Aaron. Here it's "V'amarta daber Bnei Yisrael," speak to Bnei Yisrael, "V'amarta leihem," and say to them, all of Bnei Yisrael, because now we're not talking about the parsha of the Kohanim anymore. And what does it tell us? Moadei Hashem asher tigru asam mikra kodesh elahei moadim. I'm going to give you a list now of the Moadim, of the Yomim Tovim. And what's the next pasuk? Sheishes Yomim te'asem melacha b'yom hashvi Shabbos Shabbosom mikra kodesh kol melacha lo sasu Shabbos hilashem b'chol moshosecha. The next pasuk tells us about Shabbos. Shabbos is a very, very special day. Shabbos is a day that's kadosh, a day that's holy, but it's not one of the Yomim Tovim. It's not one of the Moadim. So how come immediately after the Torah introduces that we have the Moadim that are going to be taught, suddenly now the Torah tells us about Shabbos? And Rashi and many of the Mefarshim are bothered by this. Rashi says, "Ma'inyan Shabbos eitzel Moados." What does Shabbos have to do with the Yom Tovim? Lilamdecha teaches us, he quotes the Medrash, "Shekol mechalel los hamoados," anybody who violates one of the festivals, ma'alin lov kilu chilos haShabbos, it's as if he violated Shabbos. V'chol mekayim hamoados, anybody who fulfills and observes properly the Yom Tovim, ma'ala alav kilu kiyim es haShabbosos. He's considered as if he fulfilled, as if he observed Shabbos. What exactly the Medrash means is very difficult to understand. I saw a beautiful suggestion from Rabbi Betzalel Radinsky or Sheshiva in Muncie in his Sefer Mishkan Betzalel. And he suggests that what the Torah is telling us is as follows. What is the main distinction between Shabbos and Yom Tov? Why is it incongruous in theory or seemingly that the Torah started off saying these are the Moadim and then telling us about Shabbos? We know Malacha, it's different. Ochel Nefesh is permitted on Yom Tov, but the most fundamental distinction emerges from what we say in our Shemona Esrei of Kedushas Hayom on the Yomim Tovim versus Shabbos. On Shabbos we say, Mikadesh HaShabbos, he who sanctifies Shabbos. But on Yom Tov we say, Mikadesh Yisrael v'hazmanim, he who sanctifies the Jewish people and the days. What's the difference between the two? Chazal tells us the difference between the two is that Mikadesh HaShabbos, Hashem is Mikadesh the Shabbos. But when it comes to Yomim Tovim, Hashem is Mekadesh Yisrael, the Jewish people. He sanctifies them, and He gives them the koach. He gives them the power, the ability to be Mekadesh the Yomim Tovim, to be Mekadesh the Zmanim. We have the ability through Kiddush HaChodesh, through the way that the months are determined by Beis Din, to impact and to influence when the Yomim Tovim are going to be. So what is the connection between Shabbos and Yom Tov here? So Radinsky suggests that maybe what the Torah is teaching us is that we might think of Shabbos as a day that's focused on Shmira, on avoiding Malacha, Shomer Zoma Shabbos L'Kadsho, making sure that the experience of Shabbos is one in which we don't do anything wrong. But that's a passive experience of Shabbos. It's not a full experience of Shabbos. Did you check off all of the boxes? You did. But did you experience a Shabbos that's going to uplift you? A Shabbos that's going to make the week ahead into a different experience? Absolutely not. That requires the Zachar. That requires remembering what Shabbos. It requires experiencing and taking an active role in Shabbos. It's just maybe that's what the Torah is teaching us here. That even on Shabbos we can make it into a moed. The same way that the moedim are unique in that we participate in making the day fully kadosh into what it can be, Shabbos should be the same way. Shabbos should be an experience where we are active participants in making Shabbos. Not the Kedusha of Shabbos in terms of when the day falls, but in terms of how the Kedusha is going to influence our lives. If we choose that Shabbos is going to be a day filled with Kedusha, filled with learning Torah, filled with doing chesed, with being with family and trying to elevate one another, with ruchnius, and not just focus on gashmius, or worse, just on being passive and sitting back, I'm not doing any malacha, that's all that it is. It's the essay, it's the positive experience of Shabbos. That's what the Torah is highlighting here. The Torah is reminding us that Shabbos is an opportunity. Shabbos is a gift. It's a matana tova. It's a precious gift that we have. And just like on the Yom Tovim, we are the ones who make the day into one that we can fully experience. We have that opportunity and obligation when it comes to Shabbos as well, that we need to make sure that Shabbos is a day that elevates us, that we use, that is the Makor HaBracha, and that when we experience Shabbos properly, that the bracha of Shabbos will be one that not only elevates us, those around us, but the entire week ahead. Good Shabbos.